guys, this is Jamie with Greater Than Gatsby, and I'm here to take you through another edit using the new Friends collection. So we're going to go ahead and start off with this image because she's heavily backlit, and we know we're going to want to bring some of that glowiness back to the skin and really make her pop from the background. So in this set, we're going to go ahead and start with Ugly Naked Guide Exposure. And this one, I'm pretty okay with the exposure as it is, so we will skip past that. But I do think she needs to be a little bit warmer. So I am going to come down to Warmth Boost Plus, and that is a bit too much. So I am going to bring it down to about 25%, just to add a little bit more warmth to her skin. There will be more coming though, of course, as we kind of progress through the different sections. Then we'll move down to Monica's Clean Freak Tones. And like I mentioned in the previous video, you can choose one tone from Monica's Clean Freak Tones and one tone from Gladys's Artistic Tones. And so let me kind of show you what some of these look like. I will scroll down through them all. And for this one in particular, I think that I am going to use Holiday Armadillo. And what I like about this is it really adds some of that shadow and contrast in there that really kind of signifies that effect or that feel of an extremely backlit image. And then we'll move down to Gladys's Artistic Tones. And like we had mentioned previously in the other video, you can layer both of them and to kind of like get that more saturated tone-on-tone effect. So let's go ahead and look at some of these options for Gladys's Artistic Tones to see which one would suit this image best. So I believe I really like Life Was Gonna, and so we'll go ahead and apply that. And then I want to definitely make her pop just a little bit more. Now this one we did not use in the last image, but here we really want her to separate from the background, and so we're going to come down to Fun Bobby, Bright Clean, and I understand that that's too bright, so we are going to lower that opacity, and I'd say we'll bring it down to about 50%. And so I really like what is going on here thus far. And then now we've kind of got her separated and we have a little bit of that glow that you can see in the background, but we really want to amplify that. So we are going to skip past the Ross's character annulment. It doesn't need any more depth in the background, but what I do want is I want that light. So let's come down to La 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 Light. And I am going to utilize 701 Smelly Cat on the left to kind of amplify that sun that's shining through. Now, what is really great about this La 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 Light section is that when it adds light, it does subtract the subject, so it doesn't have that spillover onto the subject. And I also want to add some directly behind her to really amplify that backlit heavy scene that makes this feel a little bit more warm and cozy, just like she appears in the image. And then I'm going to roll down to the next section, the one with the leaves. And if you recall, this allows us to kind of amplify the fall tones in the image. So for this image, we are going to use Yellow People Frame Plus. Now that is a little bit strong. I don't want it that saturated. So we will bring it down to about 75%, maybe 70%. And then next, we are going to finish this off in the entertainment section, and I want to amplify her eye whites. I really want to make the eyes pop, so I'm going to hit Rachel's eye drops, and I am going to boost that up even further to about 130%. And I think that that is a good base using just the presets, but I do want to do a little bit of brush work to finish off this image. So once again, we'll come over here and we will select our brush. And the first thing I want to do is, now that we've added that backlight glow to the background coming in behind her, I do want to add a little bit more highlight to the rim of the hood. So let me come down here and we will select Paint on Highlights from the brushes that are available. We'll bracket our brush down smaller with a good feather on it, and we will add that light in just to kind of signify what would naturally happen if that sun was actually stronger behind her. And I like where that's at, and I think that's where I want to be. So I next will add another brush. This time I'll hit K on the keyboard to select the brush, and I want to use that glowy brush. Actually, it's called the Paint on Glow brush, and I'm going to increase my bracket size, and I'm just going to amplify some of that we see in the background just a little bit more to make it stand out. Okay, so that is great. Now the only final touch that I want to do is I do want to bring a little bit more detail in on her. So I'm going to hit K on the keyboard once again to select my brush. And this time I am going to come down and I will select Rescue Shadows. So let me bring the size of that brush down using the bracket key. And I'm just going to pop in a little bit more light in some of those areas that came out darker when we used some of the more contrasted presets. And I think that looks great right about there. I will go ahead and show you the before and after, the before and after. And I think in just a few clicks, it turned out amazing. I'm really excited for you guys to play around with the new Friends collection. If you have any questions, just head over to www.greaterthangatsby.com. Thank you so much.